and injury. What's up, AfterBuzzers? This is the after show for Monday Night Football, Bears versus Eagles. Stick with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I have a panel with me this week.
You are not alone.
Oh my God.
We are here for you.
Thank you.
Just barely.
Barely. Guys, welcome to the AfterBuzz after show of Monday Night Football. We're reviewing the Bears versus the Eagles. And this is my panel. They're finally here. I was alone last week, but, I put some reinforcements this week. I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can find me at Josh_Rodriguez_ on Twitter and Instagram. Guys?
You guys can find me on Twitter. I'm Steve Kaufmann, at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. I'm AfterBuzz TV's resident Eagles fan.
What's up, guys? I'm Michael Rippe. You can find me on social media at Mike Rips, MikeRips. It's right here.
And I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me at Stiletto Jill everywhere. And I am just getting into my team this year. So.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, guys, today's game wasn't much of a game. The Bears, in my opinion, just self-imploded. The Eagles didn't really look bad. I wouldn't say they looked great, but to me, it's more about the Bears self-imploding.
The future Wentz.
Carson Wentz, yeah.
Carson Wentz.
He looks good.
Maybe the present.
Yes.
The present.
Is it
He
too
looked
early?
good today.
He did.
That's
He
2
looked
games
great.
in a row.
He looked great. That offense had a couple fourth down situations. There's some there's some kinks to work out.
It's early in the season. The one
Yeah.
thing I would worry about with Carson Wentz above all is that he's taking too many hits.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Run out of bounds, man.
Get down.
He's trying to show he's a soldier.
I get that he's tough, but you're the future. You can't take those big hits.
Yeah.
So
He's a tough guy. He was standing in the pocket delivering some throws. A couple of them got called back because of penalties, and this game would actually be a lot worse if the Eagles didn't commit so many holding penalties to begin
and
with.
if Jordan Matthews catches the
That
football
too.
in the end
Nelson
zone,
Aguilar, you can argue, has a couple drops.
yeah,
I would argue they defended him pretty well too.
the ball's in your hands. You got to catch it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think you got to make that, especially if you're the lead receiver on your
It's
team.
a beautiful throw.
It's a beautiful throw. Yes, I agree.
Make it happen.
I agree. So let's get into the beginning of the game. The Eagles 3-and-out. Well, they forced the Bears in 3-and-out. Get the ball, and they just start passing. Don't even run the ball. Spread them out. Throw the ball. It was a no-huddle, too.
yeah,
No-huddle offense.
they were running a no huddle, and at some point they had a 4th and 3.
Yeah.
And they went for it.
They went for it.
And they got it. I actually thought in the time that was the wrong play call. I thought take the points, but they went for it. They got it.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. But they had positive yardage on each play, even though it was
did.
small, it was maybe 3, 4, 5 yards here or there. But I think Doug Peterson probably felt confident in his offense that they could move the ball forward, and they actually did. Up until they got to a 4th and goal from the 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, and they had to kick that field goal, and I think I liked the play call at the 4th, and I think it was a 4th and under 5, probably a 4th and 4. I like the play call to keep going. We're gonna get the ball back at the other half. It's our first drive. We're gonna come in and just show them who's boss.
It was a bold move.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense if you get the touchdown.
Well, it shows your team that you're committed to them and you believe in them offensively. So even if you don't get it, I like the coaching. Even though I would have taken the points early, but Carson Wentz was firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. 8 for 9 on that first drive.
Yeah.
And he looks really good. It's worse. We're out here in L.A.
We have no offense, no quarterback, no.
Carson Wentz looks like the real deal. They said on the telecast tonight that this was by far the most amount of people he's ever played for against on the road.
Yes.
His biggest game on the road, I guess, was against Montana, which is 26,000.
Yeah.
So and he looked like he'd been doing this forever.
Yeah.
His demeanor very calm. He has a lot of control in the game.
Yes.
He doesn't look to be rattled as this rookie coming in with, not only just because he's a rookie, but the entire system is new because the entire Philly offensive line has been turned over basically.
Well, the whole offense.
New coach.
It's not like he was the offensive coordinator last year and then stepped up. He was the offensive coordinator in Kansas City and became the head coach in Philadelphia. He's changing everything. And it works.
It does.
So far,
Is
it's
it
working.
work, or is it just working off of Carson's talent?
Cleveland and Chicago.
I know.
Yeah, but it has worked so far, which is all you can say. I think we skipped over a quick touching point about the start of the game and the national anthem. There was the three Eagles players.
I did see that.
I guess they had their type of protest with their
Raised
arm up.
fist.
So, what'd you guys think of that?
I think that just earlier today there was, I guess, video that was released from a man being shot by the police over the weekend, hands up. So it's just reinforcing Kaepernick's point of why he started protesting and other players joining him. So I think that the message is being reflected in what is happening, and there's still a debate of, is it anti-patriotic, is it anti-police, or what it really stands for. But I think when you see that there have been, I read a stat that said 22 killings by police since Kaepernick started taking this stance in preseason. So I think that the fact that it's bringing about conversation, although we've known this is happening, it's doing what it's supposed to do. A protest is never supposed to be comfortable for anyone.
Well,
so.
I appreciate that we're not just talking about people standing or not standing or should they stand. That's not what Colin Kaepernick did. Colin Kaepernick, by the way, did it for weeks in preseason without anyone noticing, or at least 1 week. And when he asked, he said, yeah, it's my form of protest for these things. And I like it when people talk about the things.
Right.
Because that's the whole point of protesting.
Exactly.
Instead of people saying, like, oh, you should just stand because forced patriotism. And I'm like, I think the founding fathers and the people who would have you stand would want you to stand on your own accord.
Right.
That's how I feel about that issue.
Yeah.
Right. I feel the same way. I feel like the military fights for our right to,
Choose to
Stand
stand.
or not stand, freedom of
and
speech.
whether you agree with it or not, that's up to you, and you can disagree. You have every right to disagree, just like Colin Kaepernick and everybody else has their right to stand, fist in the air, whatever they want to do. I think that's what makes this country so great, and I think some people are losing sight of that.
Also, Doug Peterson, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, had been fairly public in a couple different news outlets this weekend, saying that he heard mumblings of the team in unison deciding, like, they might not stand at all.
Yeah.
But they'd do it as a team, and he said he'd support that.
Oh, wow.
That if, as a team, we will all agree to not stand.
Wow.
He wouldn't stand either.
I didn't know that.
That as a head coach, he said,
I
like,
thought he said that he would lock arms. I don't think it was that he wouldn't
stand.
Yeah.
I
think he said he would join in locking arms with the team.
But that they were gonna lock arms.
If they didn't do that, but he did say that he would get behind his team and do that.
He would join their solidarity.
I mean, if the players could take a stand, the coach can too.
Yeah, and
All for it.
for him, it was about the team, that the value of the team, that if we can all work as a unit, and I see there are a lot of head coaches, including the head coach of the LA Rams, that makes a big deal about, this isn't even the national anthem, that you're a team and we're all standing in unison to get ready for this tradition and get ready for the game.
Right. And
Something that's only been started since 2009, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
And anybody who's watching or listening, chime in, join the conversation.
Yeah,
we have a live chat
absolutely.
going on YouTube right now. Those who are listening, on a podcast after the show, tweet us, we gave you our handles. We'd love to join a conversation. Let's do it. Guys, satisfied with...
I think
Yeah.
so.
I feel like
back to football.
I don't know if you needed to pitch that during the national anthem discussion.
No, but people like to talk
They
about
want
it. It's a
us
hot
to
topic.
say.
I know,
It's
yeah.
a very hot topic.
doubt.
But let's move on to the game. The Bears actually didn't look too bad early on. They drive down, field goal kicker misses a 31-yarder, a gimme. He's
Chip
new.
shot.
He's new. They let go of Robbie Gould.
Fan favorite in Chicago.
Yeah, he is.
The hold was fine.
He just
They
missed
showed that replay. The hold was fine. He just hooked it a little.
He just missed it.
And it hit the post.
Yeah. So that was a gimme. Eagles, from what I remember, don't really do anything with the ball. Bears get the ball back. Big Alshon Jeffrey reception.
It actually should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler underthrew him,
Yeah.
but Alshon went up and got it. He had a huge first half, Alshon.
Yeah.
He was big in that first half, and it really looked like after that first set of drives by both the Bears and the Eagles that the momentum swung, and the Bears kind of took control of the game there.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Eagles were just getting field goals right up until the end of the first half, pretty much. I thought that the Bears had taken control of that game towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, I agree. They scored. Jeremy Langford punches it in from 1 yard out. Anyone who has him in fantasy, congratulations. And then Eagles come down. I'm not sure if it's the next possession or what, but basically it did just go back and forth field position. Eagles score 2 more field goals before the half ends, and it's 9-7.
Well, if you don't mind, talk about
Yeah.
the end of the first half, because it's a small point. It didn't really make a difference in the game, but at the end of the half, the Eagles set up for the long field goal for 54 yards.
Yes.
And they ice him.
They ice him, and he
Unsuccessful.
misses the field goal.
Yep.
John Fox ices him, and then he gets him a second chance, and he makes it to end the half. What's your take on that? I mean, if you're the coach, would you guys call your timeout, try to ice the kicker, or you just let him kick on the first shot? What do
On
you
that
think?
second, well, because those first 3 timeouts are kind of useless, other than situations like this, that you absolutely have to ice the kicker.
Why is
but you
that?
have to time it, because that's Why not?
You
What
think
else?
it gets
What
in the
else
kicker's
can you
head?
do?
Well, I mean,
What else can you do if
you don't
you
have to
can-
ice them.
Football is it that kind of thing.
The idea is you don't have to ice him because you give him a chance to kick to get a practice kick in almost to see, maybe because he missed that first one, he says, okay, now I got to hook it to the left a little, and he nails it. I mean, so that's the dilemma.
But I think
It's not a
what
given
else-
that you do either one. I'm just wondering which everyone would do.
I would ice. I would
would.
ice just because the way I see the world is that there's nothing else I can do in my present. Like I'm not on the field,
Right.
but I have timeouts. And if I call a timeout and successfully ice him, I'm in his head and I got him. Or at the very least, I did everything I possibly could
Okay.
to have made him.
So
to
you
have
would
made
ice
it-
him?
I would ice him. Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I actually wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
I think
That's
if
why
he's
I'm-
going to make it, he's going to make it. If he's not, he's not.
I think on the long ones, because there's a less chance of him making
Right,
it,
you don't
I'd
need a
rather.
practice one.
I don't want to give him a practice one because I think his leg is good enough to make it. If you give him that first one, I feel like he gets a little looser no matter what. He's kicked it.
Yeah.
He knows what he has to change about his kick. Whether he's going to make it or not the next time, I don't know. But I just want to go. Like, let him go. It's a hard shot for that first time. I think, that second one he could have made from like 60 plus.
Yeah, he
Did you
nailed
see
that
that? He
second
nailed
one,
it.
yeah.
And the first one was way right.
Yeah.
So,
Jill,
I don't know.
What do you think?
I probably would not, just because we're going into.
Steve.
That could be my novice. I'm just
I would
saying, but
also
we're
throw
going.
a battery at him.
We're going into halftime. You know what I'm saying? It could be a momentum shift if, in the right circumstances.
The other funny thing is how John Fox, like, after he ices him and he
Was
misses
upset
it, he's
about
all
it.
upset. Like, dude, you just did that. You didn't have.
own
you
your-
can't be upset. Yeah, own that you did that. So, anyways, but I mean, it didn't make a difference in the long run of the game. It was just one of those. It's an interesting point because there's really not a right or wrong answer. There.
Yeah, because what else can he do? Like,
It's either you do something or nothing. So it's
Or-
really just a personal decision there.
because what would be really fun is the double ice.
Or
which is you
he
ice
brings
it.
out a Smirnoff Ice.
That's a triple ice. A double ice.
That's actually a very good commercial.
double ice.
We
I've
should
seen it
absolutely
happen.
pitch that.
Yeah, icing
Right.
and this, yeah.
I've seen it happen
Smirnoff,
before,
if you're
actually.
watching.
Yeah.
Where you can call a timeout, actually stop the time, and then have one of your defensive players, one of your special teams players, in his sight line, call a second timeout that would mean nothing, but it would get in his head.
Oh.
Okay.
I've seen the Green Bay Packers do that.
So
in the
you're a
past.
fan of psychological warfare.
If you can.
If you can,
There's
got it.
probably-
Okay.
If there's not a flag for that, if enough people did it, there would be.
Just everybody on the defense is calling
Just-
time at the same
just-
time. Like,
And then
Mass
no one,
confusion.
but they have you have no timeouts.
you can't
and
use it.
that would be fun.
We are. So then halftime.
So halftime, it's 9-7 in favor of the Eagles. Third quarter starts, and it's relatively a boring third quarter to start off. I mean, no one really does anything until the Eagles, I think they get good field position, drive it down, Ryan Matthews touchdown to make it 16-7? Yeah, it was 53
Yes.
seconds left to go.
And it was a nice touchdown because it looked like
Yeah.
he was going to be down.
Yes.
And he snuck
just fought it.
outside and
Yes. And I'm going to talk fantasy football again because I'm a huge fantasy football enthusiast. He wasn't doing anything all game, and then he got a touchdown that game, and probably saved a couple of weeks for some people.
or blew it. It depends what side of
Well,
the.
really, probably
That's
ruined
a
some.
line.
As many people are happy as the other side of that is,
Yeah.
or the unhappy people. It just depends. You never know.
Well, I'm sure, but he didn't touch the ball very much that entire first half, so I'm sure there were a lot of people who were projected down heading into
Yes.
the second half.
Yes.
Who were going to bed like, oh, well, I lost this week.
Yeah, he had like 8 yards. I don't know what
Yeah.
it was exactly, but anyway, moving on.
He's still on the field. He can still do more.
So this is where things start really imploding for the Bears. Jay Cutler throws a pick on the first play on the next possession.
Awful interception.
Awful interception, and then
Jay Cutler's gonna Cutler.
Oh!
I'm just saying.
I like it. That's right. She's right. That's right. It happens like
not
twice a
wrong.
game at least.
not wrong.
Come on. You know that happens. So
He's not wrong.
Are you not surprised? Shouldn't be. Go ahead.
And we find out he has a hand injury.
Sure.
Sure.
Or pride.
So what do you guys?
Something's hurt.
I mean, knowing Jay Cutler and his reputation, what do you guys think?
Maybe a mix of both. A little bit. Maybe it hurts a little bit, but also he's a little bit hurt with his
Pride was
ego.
hurt. You went back to
It's a mix.
have a little drink
'Cause
and
he
forget
is-
the game.
He is a gamer, but he does have a lot of these injuries. Or he's the type of quarterback, at least from when I'm watching. A lot of times he's always shaking his hand, or he kind of like tries to show that he's hurt or wincing. He's just, I mean, he's a gamer.
So you're saying he
by-
makes excuses?
Not
slightly
necessarily. He
in
just
his-
throws variables.
Okay. Just in case you were thinking, I'm not 100%. I'm not gonna say it because I'm that guy and I'm here for my team. But there might be a little something going on here.
I mean, that stems from the NFC Championship game a couple years ago. I don't know if you remember. He was standing on the sidelines when his team was down against the Packers, right? was that year?
Was he pouting?
He was just standing.
He's-
He was hurt. His team needed him in NFC Championship game. Took himself out the
No,
game.
I know. That's what, I mean. There's been
Cutler's a
plenty
little
of time.
he's a little pouty.
He is definitely.
Little petulant.
Yeah. When it starts going downhill, it goes quick.
Yeah, and then
Well, he should always be a little depressed then, because I'm just saying, when have the last time the Bears have been really relevant, especially
What?
with Cutler as QB?
You
Probably
know
that
what?
last time
few years ago, they did have Brandon Marshall. They had Matt Forte.
and
they had
were
an offense.
when Matt was running and Brandon and Jay Cutler were connecting, they
Right.
were
Alshon.
one-on-one. But
Yeah, it fell apart quickly.
yeah,
They're a young team now, though.
and Cutler's the veteran,
Yeah,
showing them
I
the
don't know
way.
what they are right now.
Well, Cutler,
They're a
Alshon, and
mess.
then everybody else is like I think it was 20 of their 53 have been drafted before 2013.
They do have some young players, but I mean, they're not really standing up. These young guys right now, Jeremy Langford, even Kadeem Carey, Kevin White. I mean, these guys have higher expectations than they're showing so far. Even John Fox. John Fox comes in with the pedigree of being able to turn teams that are not good into at least winners.
Right.
It's not successful in the postseason really, but he gets it done in the regular season, and so far it doesn't look like that's going to happen with Chicago this year.
yeah, and you mentioned Langford. He had a huge fumble,
Yeah.
cost him another possession, and then the Eagles come right back down and score again.
And they got rid of Matt Forte because they believed in Jeremy Langford.
Yeah,
And we saw what he did last Thursday.
Matt Forte looks great so far.
Just thought I'd throw that out there, just a little bit.
yeah, why not? But this is where the story of the day basically just it hits with me. I think the Bears just imploded, and I think they're not a good team. Matter of fact, one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Ooh.
I'm going to take it to that level. I don't know what you guys think, but
Can we give some credit to Philly's defense, though?
yes, fair.
So
Jill, you make a great point.
I mean,
You do.
they're
That a
again,
lesser defense wouldn't have contained them as well.
It-
they would have
addition-
looked better.
Speaking of Philly's defense, they did all of this without their best cornerback, Leotis McKelvin.
Oh, that's right. He was questionable going in, but
that
he
was I was surprised that that's where I thought Chicago had an advantage with
Yeah.
Alshon Jeffrey. Philly only dressed 3 cornerbacks without their top cornerback, and for Chicago not to be able to take advantage of it, going against a rookie quarterback on the road, I mean, at home Monday night, it's really disappointing if you're a Chicago fan or you're looking to the future. I mean, what do you have to hang your head on right now?
I don't think anything. I think they need to blow up the team.
Yeah.
Well,
That,
they-
that
it's
was
like
my
they-
next question to you guys. Do you think they should blow up the team?
Well, now
Absolutely.
it's week 2.
No, I mean,
just in general.
long term.
I mean,
yes.
listen, yeah, it's week 2. We don't know. They can turn it around
Stay
for
the
all we
course.
know.
Yeah,
Go
stay the
10
course.
and 6
Wow. I mean,
and
that's
make
a-
the playoffs. I could be completely wrong, and then people will
That's a tough
look back
division.
on me and laugh at me like, "Oh, Josh, you said."
I mean, they still got to
Yeah.
play Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay twice each. I don't think there's any turning around.
Right, I
But
think it's-
I agree. I mean, the thing is, haven't they already started to blow up the team? They got rid of Marshall. They got rid of Forte. I mean, yes, you're going to go to Jay Cutler.
Yes.
Who's the backup right now in Chicago?
Brian Hoyer.
He's not a young guy.
he's
So,
not.
I mean, they don't even have the future quarterback or potentially a guy on the team. So, I mean, I guess you could blow up the team, but how do you even do that at this point in the season?
Well, you
It
can't.
probably after this season. I think
Yeah.
this season is the last sort of go to see what they have, to see if they can prove themselves, to see if there's some development, some pieces that they can scrap and salvage and pull together. Otherwise, at the end of the season, you're going to start fresh with something, whether it's the draft or who you can get through free agency.
Which free agency does not look good from the quarterback position.
No, not at all. Does anybody pay attention to college football and know?
I do.
So are any good quarterbacks coming up, or
It's more like another year away, I think.
the guy from Louisville? What's his name?
He's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's amazing, but he's young.
Oh, he's young.
Yeah.
Yeah, he,
He's
Saturday
like, I mean,
he
he's
was
electric.
Yeah.
He's electric.
What did he say? Free somebody?
So let's actually, like you said, just give credit to the Eagles a little bit. And what's your outlook on the Eagles? Well, I mean, you're an Eagle fan, so
Yes.
let's hear from
well,
you first.
my outlook will be a little biased.
Undefeated.
I came on the show last year, and people pointed out how negative Philadelphia fans are because we won. I think we beat the Jets, and
Yes.
I had come on, and they were like, "What do you think about it?" And I was like, "Well, I'm happy they won, but here's like 5 problems I had."
Okay.
Like we saw 4th down way too much. Granted, we go for it on 4th down and we win, but we're not an offense that can like score. Like we can charge down the field, we can control the tempo, and like we need to keep with that. And our defense obviously gets the ball to our offense more, but we need to put points on the board earlier.
Okay.
Once again, Eagles fan. Eagles fan. It's like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that Eagles fans are such. I wouldn't say negative. I mean, I understand how people call them negative. I think they're just very passionate.
Yes.
And mean.
And they can be mean as well.
I mean, but it's Philly.
We're passionate.
Passionate.
We're passionate. We have the ability to be mean.
Absolutely. No
mean is
question.
an understatement. Philly fan base.
Yeah, I'm a Giant fan, and I went to college like 30 minutes from Philadelphia, so I got it pretty bad.
Yep. I went to WrestleMania in Dallas, and one thing I learned, Dallas fans don't care about Philly fans at all. I did not know this.
Oh.
I thought it was both ways, like Giants or Redskins.
Yeah.
Not really.
Like, they don't care.
Irrelevant.
Oh, wow.
Do we think Philly has a shot to? I mean, because I feel like that division is kind of, up for grabs as far as who can be the top. So,
Yeah.
do we think that Philly can sneak in there and sort of get one of those top,
They look
maybe
like
two spots?
They definitely look like a 10-week team in the past 2 weeks, but as been mentioned, they haven't really been tested.
Yeah, I would say that after you look at 2 weeks, they look like they're a contender. I like the new coach. He's made me a believer in 2 weeks that he can put it together. Maybe not this season. I mean, you got Carson Wentz, but they definitely have a little bit more of a contender feel than I thought coming into the season. I think that's a tough division though right now because the Giants look better than I thought as well.
Yeah.
The Giants look like they have a strong defense and they have the offense, and Dallas looks capable with Dak Prescott
Dak
still.
good.
Dallas perpetually
Washington, the
looks
team that won last season, actually looks like the worst of all the
Yeah.
four right now. And so I don't know if Philly can get in there because if Carson Wentz takes the hits he took tonight, he's not going to last the season.
No.
But he does look like he can win and win early, and he's been good so far. But again, it's Cleveland and Chicago. You'd like to see it. You'd like to see when Philly plays an actual team that's pretty, strong.
And I wasn't going to mention it until the final was final because I didn't want to jinx it. But Carson Wentz is, correct me if I'm wrong, Fantasy Stats Guru, you're in the chat. He is the first rookie quarterback to go 2 wins in a row as a starter without a turnover.
Oh.
Impressive.
Look at that.
First ever.
That's very impressive.
That is very impressive. To be a rookie quarterback who gets 2 starting wins your rookie year is already like
Yeah.
a week 1 and a week 2 win.
Yeah, I'm just getting an update saying that Carson Wentz becomes the 5th rookie quarterback since the merger to start and win his first 2 games for his team.
Really?
Yeah.
You just looked at your foot. Did you have that stat already?
Yeah, ESPN sent that
okay.
out. That's an
All
ESPN
right.
stat.
Steve, what
To
are they
win
saying?
his team's first 2 games.
What are they saying?
It's Carson Wentz becomes the
please.
5th rookie quarterback since the merger to start and win team's first 2 games.
Fantasy Stats Guru in the chat.
Yes.
We've spoken before. Notre Dame's Kaiser. He's a top prospect out of Notre Dame.
Okay.
I think they changed the
thrilled by
rule
him.
so you can't call 2 timeouts in a row without a play in between. But then what are they going to do? Take away a timeout?
You can't save your timeout. I mean, you can't keep using timeouts.
Right.
Right. That.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think
No, you just- they
if
just-
you
they
go
in your
if you
pocket.
want to go for broke, like it's week 16 Hail Mary, who cares? What are you gonna do? Give him 10
Bump
more
the
yards? I don't
rules.
care. if it leads to him not
Go
making
Rogue.
the pass, who cares?
I think that the officials just ignore you.
Yeah, but the quarterbacks might not. The receivers might stop, and that's all you need.
Again, psychological warfare.
I'm
You're just
confused.
trying to get
I'm
all
not
up in
even
their
sure
heads.
what's
You don't care if
happening.
it's yeah, got it.
Well, I know in the NBA, if you call a timeout when you don't have one, that's
You get a
That's a-
technical.
yeah.
technical
They get a
Flag.
technical, but they don't.
It's a flag if.
But that's what I'm saying. You have a special teams player. You're okay with being ejected, I guess, because that's the worst they can do to you. They can eject you and fine you
Yeah.
if you do it enough, and then they'll make a rule, so you shouldn't do it a lot.
But
guys,
you have
you
to
should.
selectively decide when you are going to
Hey,
invoke
NFL,
this. Okay.
NFL as a whole, every season gets like 4 of these. Use them wisely. Nobody's used them yet this season.
So was this a circumstance where that needed to be broken out, like absolutely, without a
No,
doubt?
that would have been a little. In a 9-7 game, a 6-7 game, like that would have been a little.
So what's the
dramatic.
circumstance?
And like fourth quarter, week 15, week 16 division on the line.
I have a question. We talked about blowing the team up before.
Okay.
In Chicago, my question would be about the coach. I mean, does John Fox get another season if you blow it up? Does he get to be part of blowing the team up and then he's
How
in
can
charge?
he?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, that's
It's
the
a
thing.
win now. Like
It is
I
win.
feel like right now you don't get. Look how Chip Kelly. Look
Here's
how
the
long
thing.
Chip Kelly was in Philly.
True.
Yes. And
Chip Kelly
I'm
had
going
a-
to give you the flip side of that because
Okay.
I don't think that he should get more time. I mean, and you can look at Tampa Bay. Lovie Smith got 2 years and they kicked him to the curb.
Yeah.
They did have an offensive coordinator they really liked and didn't want to lose, so their circumstances. But each situation is different. But you look at L.A., formerly St. Louis, Jeff Fisher, he keeps moving on with
He has
mediocre.
pictures He has pictures on somebody. Something. It's a black man.
Well, no, I think.
There's no real reason. I mean,
I feel like the St. Louis to Los Angeles move was so jarring that they didn't want
They
to
wanted
also
stability.
that they all didn't want to also they didn't want to move cities and change coaches. Like that would be too much.
they're talking
So-
about giving him a 3-year
Yeah,
extension.
so
now.
but
That's a
that-
little
they
silly.
are, but
He
wait.
should win a game first.
It's well,
They
we
did.
did win this weekend.
Well,
John Fox, is he back for year 3 if the Bears go 3-13 this season?
I say no.
3-13? No, absolutely not.
I think even 6 and
10?
6 and 10. I even think it's time for him to go.
Got it.
I think it's a weird thing to say, but the whole vibe of the team is just off to me. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to measure it by. There's no stat that I can throw out to you.
No, I understand.
But just the vibe of it is just off. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Don't
I do.
discount locker room changes. I think that can change the morale. It can change the outlook. Sometimes if you have someone that's been there for an extended time of years and is used to doing things a certain way, that sort of dark cloud can hover over a team and they can't come back out of it. There's something to be said about small changes that can bring about new attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten any confirmation on Cutler.
That's what I was about to say.
If there's no Cutler next week, that's a good place to start.
What's the difference?
Well, I mean,
What's the attitude? I mean, if your leader is someone you don't like.
Well, so you think they play better without Cutler?
No, I'm not saying that.
I mean, it may be true though.
No, I mean we'll have to see. We came on a little early, so we didn't see Hoyer play. But I mean, if your leader, if
we don't need
you
to
don't
see
like
him
your
play.
leader, you're not going to fight for your leader. Like, what's
yeah, if you don't feel like
doing
you'll
from
be
the get-go.
like the fact that the majority of us said, yeah, he's kind of a finicky guy. Like he was a little pouty. He probably could have come back to the game and he didn't. The fact that we even think that means half his team thinks that. And that's the actual problem.
But do they? Because they're so young, and how many of them have actually been there with him through this process? Are they kind of looking up to him, even though they're like, but you're not
That's
really
even
winning?
worse. That's even worse if they're looking up to that behavior.
Well, I think it's just one of those things. We got to wait and see that for the next month, really, to know if the team is behind him. You got to listen to some of the quotes after the game, kind of get the feel. It's still early in the season.
They have a bye week early. I think that week 4 or 5, they have a bye week coming up with the Bears. So, I mean, we'll kind of see. I mean, if Cutler is out next week, I think they might have a week to kind of maybe figure a
it
little
out.
something out and adjust. I think their bye is really early, or am I getting their schedule mixed up with Philly?
I don't have it up.
Yeah, I don't have my notes. They're over there.
All right, before we get into predictions for next week, I kind of want to get into some stats just to throw at you. Carson Wentz, 21 for 34, 190 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions, no turnovers. Darren Sproles was the leading rusher with 12 attempts for 40 yards. Jordan Matthews, 6 receptions, 71 yards. And for the Bears, Jay Cutler, 12 of 17, 157 and an interception.
Womp.
Jeremy Langford, 11 rushing attempts, 28 yards. Got a touchdown, though.
Womp.
And Alshon Jeffrey, who's just going to waste there. And he's very unhappy in Chicago, by the way. He didn't even touch on that, how your star receiver hates being in Chicago once out.
Right.
Alshon?
Yeah.
Oh, he wants out.
5 receptions, 96 yards. He's a beast.
Alshon is a beast.
Yeah.
Do you
come
think
to
that they would let him go, or there's anything to get him out of that, or is he a
Is
key
he a
piece
free
that they're
agent?
gonna?
Is he a free agent?
I don't
Do you
think
know?
so.
I
think he's
I
restricted.
think they
if
locked him
anything.
down.
Yeah, I think that he's
I
kind of
mean,
locked
if you
in.
really,
Okay.
if they're a 6-win team, then yeah,
And I-
you blow the whole thing up. You get what you can for him.
No, I disagree. I mean,
keep
Alshon
him.
Jeffrey is a guy that you blow everyone else around. He's a guy that you build the team around.
So
I mean,
you build around him.
he's got height, he's got speed, he's got everything. I mean, he's one of the top receivers in football.
I agree.
You do not trade him.
I agree. And hopefully Kevin White, blossoms.
Yeah, I mean, if Kevin White can become what they expected him to be, I mean, he's a high first-round draft pick. He was a star at West Virginia, and if he can be half of that in the NFL, and you pair that with Alshon Jeffrey, you've got something to build around. I mean, you get a young quarterback in there. Now you got a team, and the one thing you want with a young quarterback, if you got a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, I mean, you get a quarterback that's not even that accurate, he can make up for that. So he's a receiver that I would not be trading. Because if you're trading him, and I'm another team, I'm trying to get him.
Oh, absolutely.
No
He
question.
will be a free agent in 2017. So
Oh,
he
okay,
signed.
he
He
will.
signed a
Okay.
1-year deal
Restrict-
for $14.599.
the restricted offer, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
next offseason
gonna
is
get a lot
going
of
to be
money.
big for Chicago.
I mean, the key to Alshon Jeffrey this season is staying healthy. The only concern with him
your money.
is health.
Yep.
Stay healthy and get your money. He's going to get paid.
That's true.
Well, and be a beast.
Yeah.
Catch the ball, whether or not the team wins.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who's going to throw it to him though? That could be a problem.
Brian Hoyer right now.
Who's the third string? That's the real question.
That's a good
Because
question,
Brian
too.
Hoyer gets hurt frequently.
Yeah.
That's why he's there.
To get hurt.
That's why he's not. Well, no, that's why he's not a starter because he.
That needs not to. All right, well, let's move on. Let's get into predictions for next week's game,
Which is
the Falcons go to New Orleans.
Falcons and Saints.
AfterBuzz TV
And it's
predictions.
how many years has it been since Hurricane Katrina since they got back into the Superdome? Does anybody know?
Hurricane Katrina was what,
05?
2005? Yeah.
It was 05, so 11 years.
I think it's 11 years to the day that they're playing this game.
Oh, wow.
That would
I think-
that timeline or 11 years to
think.
the week. It would definitely be 11 years to
Yeah,
the
Right,
week.
and
it was like week 3-ish from what
So I
I
lived in
remember.
Florida at that time. It was hard to miss.
Yeah. So, Saints are 0-2, lost 2 heartbreaking games in my opinion, and the Falcons are 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of that matchup? You guys go first.
I think that is a game that is ripe for the Saints to take. I know, a little shocking. I don't believe in the Falcons. I think that
not that shocking.
that part is not shocking. I mean, what is left in them. But I think that is a game that is winnable for the Saints. It's at home. There might be some emotion behind it, just, when those other things start coming into play and, Katrina and standing up for New Orleans and those type of things. So I think that's a winnable game for them. I don't do scores, so somebody else can handle that aspect. Will it cover the spread? I don't know. But I think the Saints got it.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, this is not only is it New Orleans, can they win it? They have to win it if they have any hope of remaining relevant this season, because you're not going to go 0-3 and then make the playoffs. And this is one of the games where a couple years back was one of the best rivalries in football.
Yeah.
They were always playing these three-point games either way. I don't believe in either of these teams, but New Orleans at home is a different team than on the road.
Yes.
And they have much more firepower on the turf or in the dome at home. And I'm going to take New Orleans to get it done at 0-2 because they must have this. I'm surprised Atlanta won this past weekend, but I don't think that they'll be able to go into New Orleans and win. So I'm with you. I'm taking New Orleans.
I got to go next to last, so I got to check a sports book. But I also felt New Orleans, in spite of them being 0-2 heading into this game, the sports book backed me up. But it's not that far off from close. You can get about 1.5 to 1 on
that's
the
it?
Falcons. Yeah. So it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game. These are two good teams for each other.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like New Orleans too, so I guess a clean sweep.
It's a sweep for the panel.
They're just a different
I
team.
will say I
At
thought
home.
I had Chicago tonight, so.
Did you?
Did you?
I'll be honest with you, I don't even think I predicted the game.
I mean, before the game, I thought Chicago would win. I just didn't believe that Carson Wentz and Philly on the road. I'd never seen it really against Chicago. I thought Chicago was better than they are. So, who knows? I mean, but the next week isn't by any means. It wouldn't shock me if Atlanta wins that game.
Okay.
Me either.
It's not one of those where it would really surprise me.
So you guys will meet us back here so we can talk about it.
Absolutely.
That's right. Next Monday.
Next Monday. Every Monday.
Every Monday.
From
8 o'clock.
executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Sweet.
Every Monday.
Every Monday, 8 o'clock.
Brought to you by. Shout out to our executive producer.
Yes. So I guess let's wrap this up. Anybody have anything else to say? Any closing thoughts?
I will
Go Rams.
go Rams. I was there. That was a good game.
Go Birds.
If you like field goals, I would just say to catch us on Thursday Night Football this Thursday for Houston at New England.
Good game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some
Interesting
injuries.
game.
Yeah.
Interesting game, exactly. But we'll be here on Thursday night to talk about it as well.
Okay. Final thoughts?
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank
I
you,
am the
Steve.
resident Philadelphia Eagles fan. When the Eagles play on Thursday night, I believe that happens in December. I'd love to join you guys there.
Please
and
do.
I believe also in December the Eagles play another Monday Night Football game. And I'm
that?
just going to invite
Come
myself.
back with a different jersey.
Okay.
Yes.
You don't like Papali?
I just want another one. Like,
Okay. Well, I
Keep it
have
up. Keep
plenty.
it going.
I want your
I like
closet of jerseys.
I like it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on the Monday Night Football After Show. I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is Kaufmann. I do a lot of shows here at AfterBuzz TV, including the Mr. Robot After Show. It is the finale this Thursday night. Be there.
And I'm Michael Rippe, and you can find me on social media at Mike Rips. It's right here.
And I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me at Stiletto Jill, and you can also check out Jackson Stiletto Jill for all your sports and pop culture gossip.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Tune in next week.
See you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.